Good evening, everybody, and welcome back once again to your Monday night. It's a wonderful thing, isn't it? It is me, the Redneck JT. I got Sully the Geek hiding in the corner back here as well. Tonight on Avenger Pretenders, we are going to go over Agatha All Along, Episode 8, and possibly Episode 9. Depending on how things go. So, grab your favorite adult beverage or whatever it is you want to drink, something to munch on, sit back in that beanbag chair, relax, and enjoy the ride because Sully, it's all yours.
Well, it might help if I actually unmute my mic.
Hey, you pulled the JT.
Worst part is I don't have my sound effects on this level. But I have this one. Anyway, hello everybody. Welcome to the show. We are streaming live on Twitch, YouTube, Kick, DLive, and TikTok. At least I hope everybody on TikTok can hear us. Hello everybody. Welcome to the show. You know, you might have to turn your phones because, you know, we're doing what we're doing. It is what it is. Still working on it. TikTok is a little new for us here. But come on in, have some fun with us because, well, let's face it, that's what we like to do. Isn't that right, JT?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. But yes, as he said, we are going over episodes 8 and possibly 9, depending on how fast we can go through it, which we're usually pretty good with. I mean, we're not the greatest, but, you know, we do what we can. So
8 was pretty condensed, though, so I think we might be able to get 8 and 9 in together.
Yeah, especially
because there's a whole lot to unpack in episode 9.
There were. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. The reveal was absolutely amazing, but we'll get to that.
Yes.
I promise. We'll get to that. So come on in, have some fun. If you haven't seen Agatha All Along, spoilers. Just saying, spoilers. You know?
Again.
Just putting it out there. Spoilers. Good luck, folks. Good luck.
Real quick, I do want to say hi to our good friends, Lady Death, a.k.a. Nakaya, and our good friend from across the northern border, the Queen of the Crochet Needle, Miss Carol. They are both in the chat room with us tonight.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So, yeah, we're going to have some fun tonight. So, as JT mentioned, Agatha All Along, episodes 8 and 9, and we're going to go right down into the nitty-gritty of things because, well, let's face it, you need to have seen this. You need to know what's going on with it. And, oh, by the way, holy crap. Holy crap. Now, before we get into anything, I do have to let everybody know, Western Echo, he he chimed in with us over the weekend. JT didn't mention any of his opinions of the last couple of episodes for Dennis, but he wanted to weigh in, so wanted to give him credit where credit is due. Him and JT are actually on the same page with the reveal episode of Billy Maximoff, also known as Billy Kaplan, also known as Wiccan, also known as the son of the Scarlet Witch, Wanda Maximoff. So, very good that they were on the same page for that. Now, everybody else, he liked every other episode. And he also feels that this series is better than all the other series that they've produced and put out there so far.
Well, luckily for him, we're in the United States and not Russia, where you are allowed to have your own opinions no matter how badly they stink.
Oh, that was just mean. That was just
It may have been mean, but it was true.
That was just mean. Oh.
Well, I I had to get me and Echo off of the same sheet. We
True.
can't be on the same page together.
No, you can't.
The world will end if Echo and I stay on the same page together.
It's true.
Besides the fact that in his little review there, he mentioned Falcon and Winter Soldier and literally put the comment that he ducked after he said that.
Ah. Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
We do love Echo. We do love Echo.
Oh, by the way, I need to put like a warning up. No smoking. We don't condone smoking, but JT's a smoker, so we're a little restricted. We're a little restricted. This is on TikTok. Everybody else can come in and do whatever.
Smoking is a part of life, people. Get freaking used to it. Jeez.
At least for you, so it's all good.
Just because others don't do it doesn't mean others have to quit.
Very true. Very true.
You know,
right there with
I'm
you.
not going trans just because everybody else is going trans. You know, come on.
I mean, who said that? Anyway. So, let's get down to it. Episode 8. Episode 8. Want to say hi to my buddy Megan, Mad Jelly. She's liking the live on TikTok. Hello, darling. Hope your leg is getting better, your ankle, and everything that's going on with your surgeries and all that. Because, well, let's face it, you need to get better. We need to see you soon. She misses dancing.
I can understand that.
I don't blame her.
No, I understand that completely.
I don't blame her. So, episode 8. Well, we're at the end of the road. And just as I called it, not everybody was dead. And we know not everybody was dead, because if they were, we would have seen that everybody was dead. But from the switch of the tower reversed and all the Salem 7 falling to their supposed death, we kind of knew they may be dead. However, we don't see their bodies, but it's very interesting for the final reveal of what's going on. And I say that because I thought this was like a very revealing episode when it comes down to it. Mostly because of the challenge between Agatha, Billy, and Jennifer. They're the last ones. And don't get me wrong, Rio is still alive too, but we know who Rio is.
Yes. And she's not in the picture right now anyway.
Yeah, no, she's not in the picture at all. She's not even a part of this challenge. And what happens is in the beginning, once they leave the final challenge and they're back on the road, they've already come across their shoes. Their shoes are just there. So the road was one full, complete circle that everybody's going, now what? What is this shit that's going on? And yes, we're PG-13, folks, so be adults. You're on your own. Okay? Just putting it out there. But they come across their shoes. So the road itself, and this, even for me, it kind of caught me off guard with what they were doing with the story of the road and how it was just a loop that just kept coming. And instead, they, correct me if I'm wrong, but in the beginning when they came up to the shoes, Billy was the one that went, wait a minute. We did all of these. We took our shoes off out of respect for the road.
Mm-hmm.
I'm putting them back on.
His exact words were, We took off our shoes out of respect for the witch's road.
Yes.
Screw the road. And
Yeah.
put his shoes on and cut to black.
Megan just said that she hated how the show ended. We'll get there. We'll get there. Mixed emotions with the ending of this. Believe me. Believe me. I get it. I get it. But in this case, we see some things kind of happen. And what I really like was the fact that Billy just stuck to his guns and was all about the no, F this, F you. Now we're doing it my way.
Well, they were trying to find the final challenge.
Right.
You know, they had finished the fourth challenge. They were trying to find the final challenge, which was technically the Green Witch challenge without a Green Witch.
Yep.
And they were going down the road, and that's when they ran back into your shoes. And Billy's like, you know what? You know, the Witch's Road is a big circle. Screw this. You know, like I said, you know, we did it out of respect. Screw the road. Let's see what happens when we put our shoes on.
Sure.
So, you know, the only thing Agatha's talking about doing, you know, Jen's just sitting there going, well, what the hell do we do?
Now
You know,
what?
how do we, what do we? And, you know, Agatha was saying, because they were going, well, how are we going to do the Green Witch challenge without a Green Witch? And Agatha's like, well, there's a lot of crossover between Green Witch and spells and stuff. So, Jen, you know, you might be able to do some of it. Jen's like, yeah, I don't know. And all this. And so Agatha's like, well, let's just go through, let's just walk the road again. That was her only solution, was to walk the road again and see if they missed something. Even Billy suggested maybe we missed the road to the fifth challenge.
You know, I knew I should have taken a left turn in Albuquerque.
So Billy, by doing what he did, he is the only one who actually tried anything.
Yes.
And by him trying something, it actually took them into the fifth challenge.
Yes. Which was good.
Yes, it was good that they got into the fifth challenge, but if it had been me, I'd have freaked the hell out. Because you come to consciousness and realize that you're inside of a freaking body bag.
I mean, things happen. I do agree with you that that's a little freaky, to say the least.
Yeah. I mean, you know, you think it's freaky for the people outside if all of a sudden the body bag starts moving. What do you think the person on the inside of the body bag is feeling?
Let me out! Let me out!
You know what I'm saying?
Unzip my guy.
It's funny because it's just Billy. You know, this drawer pops out, basically. And it's Billy. He gets the bag open. He sits up. He's looking around. And then all of a sudden, ting, here comes another drawer opening up. And Agatha comes up.
Here I am.
Right?
Wonderful. And she rose up like the Undertaker.
Right? Exactly.
She was like,
and it's not the first time this episode she's done that.
Yes.
Or the series that she's done that.
Yes.
So they're sitting there talking, and they're still missing one person. Where's Jen? Because I'm assuming that, you know, these pauses were the other two going, holy shit, where'd he go? Do I put my shoes on too? You know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then Jen pops out, and she does exactly what I would have done. She freaked the hell out.
And rightfully so.
Carol says, sorry guys, not feeling great today, so I'm going to bed. See you tomorrow. Get some rest, Carol. Hopefully we will feel better tomorrow.
Because tomorrow's going to be fun. Just saying. Just putting it out there. It's going to be fine.
So Jen's freaking out inside the body bag, and Billy starts to get up to go help her, and Agatha's like, "Let her handle it. Just don't take her fun away," or something along those lines. I can't remember exactly what the wording was.
Yeah.
She's like, "Just let her. She'll be fine."
She'll be all right.
I'd be like, "Man, get me the of this thing."
I mean, it can't be that scary. I mean, I don't know. I'm the type of person that would like sit in a casket for 24 hours, Just give me food and my phone with a charger and I'm good. I can sit in there all night. I'll even sleep.
Okay, but that's different because you're prepared for that.
True. Putting your shoes on and ending up in a body bag, I get it.
Not even both shoes. You put one foot into the shoe and poop.
I mean,
And you come to realization, and you're inside of something. You can't see, you can't hear, you can't smell, other than yourself.
I get it.
I would freak out. I think you would too in those circumstances. If you were prepared for it, yeah. But unprepared, you'd freak out. Maybe not a lot.
But like I said, I get it. I do. I get it. So from there, though, they're trying to figure out, well, what's the next challenge?
Mm-hmm. What are we supposed to do here?
You're in a round room with a staircase that leads to a wall and a ceiling. So it leads to nowhere.
Agatha's thinking is that they're in her basement.
Yes. Well,
Agatha's thinking that they're in her basement is what the frame of thought is.
Yeah, because of the stairs. And I think part of that was also because even though they had the stairs, there was no timer. Unless you looked up and you saw the lights all the way around the room.
Well, and that's just it. There's two rows of lights. There's an outer ring and an inner ring of lights.
Yep.
And I can't remember what they did that activated the lights, but they did something. I don't remember exactly what it was. And all of a sudden, just one of the lights on the outer rim went out.
Yeah.
And Agatha goes, "Well, there's our timer."
There it is.
And they still didn't know what they were supposed to do.
It's there. I mean, yay. We're all going to die.
So I'll let you take it from here, sir.
We're all going to die, but they were also trying to figure out what the hell they still needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because, that was a thing.
Right.
Because in reality, what can they do? They're in a room with all three of them, just doing nothing.
Right.
And Megan actually makes a very good point. Billy grabbed his stuff, and this is via TikTok. Billy grabbed his belongings, which triggered everything. So Billy...
That's what triggered. That's right. He opened his spell book, and it was all singed and burnt on the inside, and he threw it down.
Singed, burnt, he couldn't read it, nothing. He wasn't getting a damn thing out of it.
What was the name of the young lady that said that?
Megan.
Megan. Thank you, Megan.
You could call her Mad Jelly.
I just call her Megan.
I mean, Megan works too. She's my buddy. She's my buddy, my pal, my amiga. But she says you're welcome. But that's the biggest thing is, every single challenge has been triggered in some way, shape, or form.
Right.
So now it becomes...
When he picked up the album, when he picked up the note.
Mm-hmm. Picked up the note.
Things like that.
We've already gone through every single trial. Everyone has caused a trial to start except for Billy. Until this one.
No, Billy, when the trial started, the timer started with...
the record player.
With the record player.
The record player. Because it said, play me.
Yep. What would make you pick that up?
It told me to.
It says, play me.
It says, play me. Didn't
Hold
play
it
it
up
the right
in
way.
big letters. Play me.
It didn't play it the right way, but it's there, which is good. I'm just, again, putting it out there.
Right.
So now the trial has started. They have no idea what to do. No idea what to do.
Yeah.
So then the question becomes, well, what's next? What is next, and how do we solve the issue? Which comes down to pretty much Agatha and Jennifer doing what they always do. Because if you think about
Arguing
it,
with each other.
if you think about it, Lilia in the previous episode flat out told Jennifer she is the future. You are the future. She even read it on the tarot cards. You are the future.
Right.
So now, what's next? What is at the end of the road? How do we do what we need to do? In Jennifer's case, she needed to finally accept who she was, accept that she was going to be the future of the witches, and finally move on and accept that.
Well, and the tricky thing was that she had to realize that the professor did not steal her powers.
Right.
But that was also when it was realized, because Billy asked Agatha, did you put a cudgel on her?
I think she said no, right?
No.
Oh,
She
no,
did
no,
not
no.
deny.
Yeah, you're right. She was the reason that it happened.
She's like, I'm not sure. And then basically she's like, yeah, I did.
It was all me.
And
I
Jen's
did
like,
it.
And Jen's like, you left me in a cudgel for 100 years.
She was angry. Woo.
She was pissed. You know what? I'd have been right there with her. I'd been, you freaking bitch.
She was total bitch mode.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have gone off on her more than Jen did.
And rightfully so, if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
She should have been pissed, and I would be too. Over 100 years, damn,
Right.
That's a grudge.
Well, and then she almost attacks Agatha.
Well, she did hold back.
Is the way that it appears is that she's attacking Agatha.
Yes.
And that was Agatha's reaction, was she was being attacked.
Like, bitch.
But what happened was Jen grabbed some of her hair, pulled her hands up like this, and tied her hands together.
Yes. That's right. She did that. It was kind of like a reversal spell, if you think about it.
It breaks the cudgel.
Yeah. So she did what she needed to do.
Looking at her and repeatedly saying, "You have no power over me."
Yes.
Over and over. And of course, Agatha's playing it off, like Agatha is. The way she's.
I mean,
so nonchalant about things, really.
Well, and that was
the way I
thing.
would describe it.
And that's the thing when it comes down to it, is that in reality, Agatha really didn't have any power over her to begin with. But because of everything else that was going on, she basically just said, screw it. I don't need this anymore.
Well, and it was that, why did you put it on her? She says, I don't know.
Yeah, she didn't remember.
It was spells for money or be killed.
Yeah.
So, she may have never met Jen when the cudgel was cast.
Right.
That they're not real specific about.
Yes. Well, once that happened, she finally accepted that, no, I'm more powerful than you are. They broke everything.
And broke her spell.
She was able to leave the trial. She was gone. disappeared.
Well, because she finished the trial and she got what she wanted, which was her power back.
Yep.
She wanted her abilities back, and you could see it was neat how they showed it, how when the spell was actually broken, she did the like mini convulsion thing and all of that, and she cried and was exasperated and everything else.
Listen, it's a very emotional thing, all right?
Yeah, it is. It is. It is. Hey, no question about it. It would be for me too.
Had to be emotional.
And then poof,
then
she's gone.
Yay!
And Billy's like, basically, it's like, where the fuck did she go?
She done vanished, and I don't know why. She done vanished, and I don't know why. And that's okay, because she was gone. But now he need to finish the challenge. He need to finish and find out what he wanted at the end of the road, which, in all reality, we know what he wanted at the end of the road. We know he's looking for his brother. We know. But the best part about this part was the way Agatha basically just grabbed him and throughout it all flat out said, I'm going to help you no matter what. Because the one thing we forgot to mention, and we forgot to mention this, was when before they started the challenge, and this was my fault. I missed this part. I'm sorry. This is a very important piece of information.
It happens.
Before the challenge started, Rio showed up. First and foremost, Audrey Plaza. Damn.
Oh.
Just damn. Holy crap.
Yeah, this was before they even ran into she found them and they ran into their shoes.
Yep. So I forgot this part. I'm sorry. This is before the challenge.
How did you forget that?
No, it was a big part of it too, and I'm sorry. Sorry, okay? But it needs to be mentioned. Needs to be mentioned. Because clearly Rio, also pivotal to the story, was missing. And I forgot to mention that this was how the episode started. I'm sorry, people. I'm sorry. But Audrey Plaza as Death. She is Lady Death in the MCU. Thank God they finally brought her in. People are tying it to Avengers. Well, that's something for later. But we'll talk about that. She was bringing what's her name? Allie, right? Allie? Was it Allie?
Alice.
Alice was dead. We saw her die in the 80s episode. Agatha sucked all her powers out of her.
Alice Wu, the Fire Witch.
Yes, the Fire Witch. She's dead. And Rio basically, brings her to the end. You're gone. You're dead. I'm sorry. This is the way things are. There's nothing you can do.
I like what she said to her. Yep. I like what Rio said to her to calm her. And that is, you were a protection witch, correct?
Yep.
Yes. You died protecting someone.
Yes.
After that, Alice pretty much accepted it.
And she was protecting Billy. We know she was protecting Billy.
Mm-hmm.
Because she just automatically went and jumped in front and did it and did what she needed to do. And it worked. It worked. Okay. Now let's fast forward just a little bit, because once she sees Rio with Agatha on the road, she flat out says, I'm coming for you. It's either you or him. What's the deal? Because he is an abomination. Which, if you think about it, is 100% true.
He killed somebody to have a body.
Did he kill somebody? Did he?
That's true. The
He
kid
didn't kill
died in the
anybody.
accident, so yeah.
He didn't kill anybody. What he did was
Just took over the body.
survive.
Yep. He took over the body.
He used his mind to jump from Westview, where he was going to be destroyed anyway, and jumped into a body that was already dead.
Yep.
So he's an abomination.
And
Death,
still available to a host.
and Lady Death made the deal. It's either you, Agatha, or him. Take your pick.
But the reason that had to happen, the reason it was done this way is because Rio, Lady Death, could not kill Billy.
Nope. Couldn't kill Agatha either.
Billy had to turn himself in voluntarily.
He had to sacrifice himself.
In order for Rio to be able to take him.
Yes. Because he's an abomination.
Exactly.
Now.
So that was the deal that was made. Agatha made the deal with her that either Agatha goes with her or she gets Billy to admit
that
gets Billy to surrender himself to her.
Yes.
That's the deal.
Yes. Now, back to the challenge. Because the challenge for Billy is, what does he want at the end of the road?
Which is to find Tommy.
He wants to find Tommy, his brother.
Right.
He knows he's out there. He can feel him being out there. Mm-hmm. And Agatha basically says, you know what? Screw the deal. Screw the deal. We already knew she had a liking for the kid.
Mm-hmm. Well, and what I was going to say was right here, she turns on mother mode big time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. She certainly does.
Oh, she turns into freaking Mama Eagle in a millisecond. You know, and just watching her do that.
Yeah.
That in itself, Agatha putting her attitude and everything aside to help Billy was to me was pretty amazing.
I agree. 100%. 100%. Yeah. And the fact that she went all mother hen and like, no, I'm going to protect this kid. She flat out helped him pass the challenge that he needed to pass. Because the first thing is, he kept saying he didn't want power. That's not what he wanted. We knew he was looking for Tommy. We know he wanted Tommy. That's his brother. Any brother would do that. And Agatha even mentions to him, you are not your mother.
Oh.
However,
that's one of the things that Rio said, was that they can't allow him to find his brother and help his brother to take over a body.
Right.
So,
also,
forgot about that line.
Part of the abomination. So instead, she helped him concentrate to find Tommy.
Well, and then she did the Vulcan mind meld thing.
That was so cool. The Vulcan mind meld. Do that again. The what?
A Vulcan mind meld where she grabs the side of his head.
Placed like in position here, and you got to do like a whole bunch of different stuff. But she basically made him use his telekinesis and his mind reading powers to find somebody who is already in peril. Mm-hmm. And we see a boy drowning and being pushed down and kids beating on him and drowning and doing whatever they needed to. But there was hesitation from Billy. Is Tommy going to be all right? Is Tommy going to survive? Is this going to happen? Is that going to happen? I don't want to kill this kid.
Am I killing this kid or is Tommy? Boom.
Yep. Boom.
That was the line. Am I killing this? Am I killing him, or is Tommy? And boom, knocks her backwards a little bit. The floor cracks.
Yep.
And everything. And Agatha's just like,
where'd he go?
what the fuck?
Yeah, where'd he go?
What the F-bomb here, you know?
That was like, whoa, holy shit, this is new.
I mean, you look at that floor. That floor was thick.
That was, yeah, that was at least, what, 5 or 6 inches of concrete?
At least.
That crack?
Or whatever substance it was, because it was black and shiny. So whatever it was thick and hard because it cracked loud.
But now you're seeing the timer's running out.
Mm-hmm.
The challenge is almost done. If she doesn't beat that challenge, who knows what would happen? Who knows? As Megan on TikTok just said, she knows they're Wanda's kids. Yeah, well, we all know by this episode, we 100% know that it's Billy and Tommy Maximoff. I even called it from episode 1.
Right. I don't remember where, but somewhere in Agatha and Billy's conversation, I think Billy asked her, you never did tell us the story of what really happened with Nicholas.
Yes.
Billy invoked Nicholas in this conversation. I don't remember exactly what part of it, but that's still in the back of her head.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Hands down.
You know, and she's looking at the timer. The timer's running out. I think she basically kind of realized that she wasn't going to be able to win the Witch's Row.
You think so?
I think so. I think she was kind of resigned to that fact because the timer was running out. She really didn't know what she was going to have to do to win her part of the challenge to be able to leave the Witch's Road.
Okay.
So, and that's why she opened her locket and she pulled out the clump of Nicholas's hair that she had. But the one thing I never noticed, I don't know if you noticed or not, but I'm sure you'll tell me if you did or not, is underneath Nicholas's hair was a little dandelion seed.
Yes. I did notice that, which was part of the challenge.
But did you notice it before then?
No.
Because there were several times that we got to look inside that locket prior to that.
Yeah, no, I didn't notice it until it was this episode.
Right.
Because I even did the same thing. Like, as soon as she opened up the locket with his hair in it and that dandelion seed, I'm like, okay.
I was like, well, I haven't seen that yet.
That was a good twist. But at the same time, I don't even think she noticed.
I don't think she noticed it in there either. I don't think it was.
No, well,
I would have to go back through and do stop screens on each time that they open the locket.
That's going to be a lot.
To see if it was there. And it would be, I mean, that's 4 or 5 times at least that the locket was open during the series.
They don't show his hair. They just show the locket opening up, and that's it. Because the hair was underneath, inside the locket.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. You talking about in this episode?
But not just this episode. The previous episodes, I don't think they.
The other ones we saw the hair. Yeah, it was there.
Okay, it's been a while.
It was there. That's why she was so protective of it, because that was the only thing that she had left of him.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while. I mean, we're what, 9 episodes in, so. Well, 8 episodes, but yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's there though. So So from there, she takes that dandelion seed, she puts it in, she takes a tear and she wets it to help it
actually took it up to her eye.
Yeah, and
took the dandelion seed up to her eye and got it wet. That was cool.
Popped it in, buried it, and in all honesty, I was surprised she did it right before the timer ended. Because
and she was begging, I need more time. She got it in the ground, she covered it up and everything. Real quick though, I thought the significance of using her own tears to wet the seed
Yes.
was, I mean, that
Genius.
was at a 20 on a 10 scale. You know what I'm saying?
Genius.
And she was begging for more time. She says, "No, I need more time. I need more time." And and then all of a sudden, because it's the lights are flickering like they do, and the lights come back on, and it's just one, and all you see this dandelion come up and grow and bloom and die, and the seeds come out.
Yep. Oh yeah.
And if I remember correctly, I think she reaches to grab it, and as soon as she touches it, all the lights come back on.
Yeah, which was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Which was awesome.
That was pretty cool.
But from there, obviously she gets out. Yay!
How do I get out of here?
Not only does she get out, but she's got her powers back. Obviously, she's a whole new outfit. She's ready to go, and we're back in the backyard
At her house.
At her house in Westview,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a little stormy out.
Heck, a little bit.
Because now we finally see Rio dressed as Lady Death from the comics, which, by the way, I love how they did this.
It was impressive.
It was so good. I mean, we knew she was going to be Lady Death. We called it. I called it. It was a
Don't
great
say we.
reveal.
You knew.
I knew.
Well, I'm just saying, I had no idea. So
JT didn't know, and it's okay. But
so don't say we on that one. But
But from there, now we're starting to get into the fight, the final battle between Death and Agatha, which we get to the point where Agatha's getting her ass kicked, because let's face it, how do you kill Lady Death?
Rio laid her ass out. I mean, bloodied her lip big time.
She kicked her ass 6 ways from Sunday. She really did.
5 ways from Sunday, because she still gets a couple more licks in. But
Well, true, but nothing really phased her.
Right.
Nothing phased her. And again,
I mean, she got knocked backwards and went through walls and went through windows and every damn thing else. And okay, whatever.
Yeah. Well, so now here's the thing, okay? When it comes to Lady Death, all right? You cannot win. There's no way. Right. Lady Death is Lady Death. And she's not even the Grim Reaper. Okay? She's just Lady Death. Okay? She's the one that brings the people to the underworld. Guides them.
She's the guide. Real quick, want to say hi to our good friend Coach Shadi.
What's up?
She has joined us in the chat room.
What's up, buddy? How are ya? How are ya? So, now...
Here comes Billy.
We see lightning going all around. We see magic happening, dirt flying all around, things crashing down, Agatha being thrown all over the yard. And Billy comes and sweeps in to save the day, dressed as Wiccan. Nailed it. They nailed it with the costume. Yes, it's not 100% comic accurate, but still nailed it with the costume.
Some of the shit they do in comics you can't copy.
well, then it's just not practical, okay? In comics, it's spandex. But now, even today, with the Marvel comics, they're making all their outfits more practical. You know, Spidey will really be the only person in spandex, okay? It doesn't matter who it is. But even now, like Captain America's suit has changed in the comics. It's still, the Captain America suit, but it's more soldier than anything. You know,
Right.
and it's not all the comics. It depends on the artist and who's drawing them. They still have
Right.
the cowl. They still have everything. It's still the same character, but the costumes are changing over the years, which is good. I like that. Hawkeye used to have a freaking helmet cowl with Wolverine type ears, and now he doesn't. He's just got sunglasses on. It's more practical, more realistic. Perfectly fine. With Wiccan, if you don't know the comics, this is perfect. And as JT raises his hand, JT's raising his hand because he's like, I don't know shit.
That's why I'm the outsider.
It's all good. We like that. But it gets to the point now where even Lady Death says, okay, you need to choose. You need to choose. You need to make that decision. Is it going to be you or is it going to be him? And if it's going to be him, he still needs to do what he needs to do. And even Wiccan is like, no.
Well, they fight. They start fighting with Rio again, and Wiccan does something and knocks her back again.
2-on-1, and she's still kicking ass.
Yeah. But Agatha looks at Billy and says, "Okay, let's look at this logically. Basically, we're not going to win. This is death that we're fighting." And she offers to Billy to sacrifice herself. As soon as she did that, I'm like, you conniving little bitch.
Yeah. Oh boy, was she was that
Because somehow or another, and I think it happened when Agatha helped him finish the Witch's Road and find his brother.
yes.
Somehow or another, he became attached to her.
Yes. Oh, hands down.
And so, she says, I'll sacrifice myself. So that you can live your life. Basically, I'm old, you're young, you go live your life. I'll sacrifice myself. Knowing what Billy was going to do.
Oh, yeah.
And Billy did exactly
What she wanted.
what she needed him to do to hold up her end of the deal with Rio.
Yep.
He sacrificed, he offered himself, he surrendered himself to her.
Yes. But we're also
This is like triple M. Night Shyamalan
Yeah.
in this part of the episode.
But you also have to remember, before all was said and done, he said to Agatha, don't take it all. And he started to use his power so she can absorb it and be stronger to potentially take out Lady Death.
Or at least stand a little bit more of a chance.
Yes. But
I thought for sure she was going to take it all.
Oh, I thought so too.
The way that she was acting and the grin on her face as she's getting this power and everything. I thought, Billy, I'm sorry, dude, but you're dead.
She was like,
you're done.
Bitch, I'm going to do this and you're going to like it, whether you like it or not.
But I love what happened because she stops it. Agatha stops it.
Yep.
But you can tell Billy is really, really weak.
Oh, yeah, he's hurt. He's hurt.
He's waiting for sweeting, as they like to say. And Rio just goes,
fling.
he goes flying and lands in the freaking greenhouse.
He pulled a Peter Pan. Wendy, I could fly. Crash.
Right? Look at my plans.
Well, at that point in time, now we get to the part where Wiccan is ready to defend himself, sacrifice himself.
Mm-hmm.
And then I forget what he said to Agatha, but as she was walking away, he said something to her.
He invoked Nicholas.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Again.
That's
He
right.
invoked Nicholas again. I didn't understand what he said. The only word I caught was Nicholas.
Was Nicholas.
And I think they did that on purpose.
Which I'm all for. Because she just turned around, looked at him, went over to Rio, grabbed her by the face, and just kissed her.
Yep.
Kissed her to the point where now she sacrificed herself for him.
Mm-hmm.
And once that was all said and done, Agatha's life just got sucked from her body.
Yep.
She laid down and she went right into the ground, and flowers came up.
Flowers bloomed and looked up
It was
her.
very magical, okay? It was very magical. And after all was said and done, Rio looked at him and said, "You're free to go. I'm done."
Walked away.
And walked away. Go live your life.
Part of me was sitting there going, is Rio going to keep her part of the deal?
She did.
I know, but part of me was wondering for a second there, is Rio going to keep her part of the deal? Or because of the fact that he surrendered to her,
Yep.
and he is still an abomination,
Yep.
she would have every right to have taken him.
Yes.
So I was kind of like, well, is she going to let him go or no?
Yeah. But she did. She kept her word,
Yep.
which is good. That means, somebody
At least
like
Lady-
Lady Death is a woman of her words, or an entity of her words.
Right.
That once you make a
Good
deal,
thing
that's it. You can't do any more.
I asked Kay, kind of flashing back to the beginning of the episode, she made the deal with. I looked at Kay and says, which is worse, a deal with the devil or a deal with?
Running with the devil. Which she
Some of the shit that
does.
pops in my head scares me.
Which she does. I mean, she does run with Mephisto. So, well, now that the dust is settled, the sun has come out. It is now the next morning. Billy,
As all
battered
this
and beaten,
ends.
bleeding, cuts on his face, everything, leaves the backyard. We see the people of Westview looking around the house like, holy crap, this is happening again. What's going on?
Right.
And
Well,
gets-
they actually said when the fight first started, here we go again.
Yep, here we go again. Only this is a little different because we've never seen that bitch before. Holy shit. Well, he gets in the car and drives away. Not only does it drive away, but he drives back to his town of Eastview,
Goes home.
goes home, goes in. Mad Jelly, the world is going to end. Not wrong. Goes home. His parents were worried sick about him.
Been
He's like,
gone
"I'm
for
fine.
a day. Where were you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. It's all good.
And that's the amazing thing, because if you think about it, on the Witch's Road, they went through at least 4 iterations, 4 moon phases.
Yeah.
So that's at least 4 days.
At least.
But yet he was only gone for 24 hours.
No, 3 days. They said 3 days.
I thought his dad said you were gone
Was
for
it
24 hours.
I'll have to go back and look. You might be right.
Yeah, me too.
You might be right, but I'm pretty sure it was 3 days.
I remember hearing 24 hours.
I thought I heard 3 days. I could be wrong though. I could be wrong.
Right. Either way, he shows up at home. They were worried about him. And,
Yeah.
I'm
So
okay. No, you're not. You're bleeding.
so he takes a shower, he gets all cleaned up, and then he goes into his room. And that is where
This was weird.
Well,
To me, this part was freaking
okay.
weird.
I'll give you that. To you, it was weird. Because to me, we've already seen his room.
Yeah.
We've seen
But
certain
Not in deep
things.
detail.
Right. Not to the full detail, but we kind of have at the same time. Because every single end credits of every episode revealed something that got tied to his room, including but not limited to the Witch's Road,
the Alice Wu poster, or her
Lorna
mom.
Wu, the Wizard of Oz dolls, which we've seen in the credits, the Yellow Brick Road. We also have all of the other posters, including the Buffy the Vampire musical episode, which, if you pay attention to the end of the Sully show, we use that at the end of the show, which ties to Joss Whedon, who is tied to Avengers and Avengers Age of Ultron. Everything's connected. Everything's connected.
It has to be.
Which is why the Ballad of the Witch's Road is part of the plot point, people. But it's interesting to see how he's going through, and you're seeing the picture of the house by the beach, which was the first trial. And then you're seeing these other trials. And the realization that Billy is getting from this was like, holy shit. Holy shit. There was a poster of Evanescence on his wall as well. I noticed that.
And what confused me, I mean, I was already starting to get confused anyway.
Yep.
But then all he says is, was it me? And then he hears a laugh behind him. And I will say, this next part is the worst acting he has done in this entire series.
I will give you that one. Yes, absolutely.
Because his startled, scared look was pitiful.
Yeah, it was horrible.
I could have done better than that.
It was absolutely horrible.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Because once you heard the boo, that was it. The episode was over. The episode was over.
So even numbers is you.
Yes. So I will say this, with all the cool little reveals, with all the segments, this was probably the best episode out of all of them to date. Only because we still have episode 9.
Yeah.
Which, personally, you and I could fill episode 9 in like 15 minutes because, yeah. Aubrey Plaza as Rio / Lady Death. Holy crap.
She played that role perfectly.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Nailed it. Western Echo will agree with me too, because she was also in Legion. And if you haven't seen her in Legion, go back and watch it, because my God, she's amazing in that. And she just took it and brought it to this. Right. And I mean, brought it. Now, before I give my rating, remember what I've said before. Everything in the MCU is connected. Everything. Everything.
You should make that a button.
Right? Everything's connected. Boom. Everything is connected. Everything's connected. Because that's how we roll. That's how we roll. Everything is connected. Now, with that being said, since everything is connected, there was a movie, which I already mentioned, directed by Joss Whedon, called The Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of, well, not even at the end of Avengers, because at the end of Avengers, it was shawarma. The mid-credit scene of Avengers shows the Mad Titan Thanos and his lackey saying, and I quote, "Humans are unruly and cannot be ruled. To go after them would be to court death." Lady Death is here. Thanos loves Lady Death. However, Lady Death only hooked up with Agatha and Deadpool, but that's besides the point.
All right. So, what is your rating?
My rating for this is a 4.5.
Okay.
4.5. Aubrey Plaza, as short of a role she had in this episode, freaking stole it. Stole the episode as Lady Death. And the fact that they revealed her having the skull face and everything, nailed it. She is the Green Witch, the original Green Witch. Wow. And I love that. I love what they did with the entire episode, from all the little hidden figures, the knickknacks, the tiny little references to not just the posters in his room, but to everything that has been tied to a Marvel brand.
Mm-hmm.
Nailed it. Nailed it.
Okay.
What
Okay.
about you?
Lady Death, not the one in the show, our Lady Death.
Uh-huh.
She says, I thought it was a great episode. I liked the fight scene at the end between Agatha and their Lady Death.
Yep.
I could not have done better myself.
Yep.
I give the episode a 4.5 witch's hat.
Whoa, look at that. We're on the same page.
Mm-hmm. And then she follows that up with, oh my God, I loved the goal for her towards the end.
Yep. Well, that's her true face.
Yes.
That's her true face in the comics, is a skull.
So for me,
Yes, for you. Ooh, he's
I enjoyed
thinking.
the episode to a point.
Okay. All right.
To a point. I enjoyed the episode to a point. I love the reveals
Mm-hmm.
as we went along. I love that we saw the motherly side of Agatha,
Yep, that was interesting.
where she totally turned character 180 degrees, which we saw one other time in the episodes when Billy got hurt.
Yep.
And what was it, episode 3? I think it was.
Give or take,
When
yeah.
Billy got hurt, and she, basically yelled at Jen to save him. And that. So the whole realization from the beginning to the end scene was great. But then he goes home.
I'm always weary when you have a button there.
The other lame part to me
Uh-huh.
of this whole thing, besides his scare reaction at the end, was the fact that he just walks out of this battle and gets in his car and drives away.
I mean, he took a little bit of a stumble getting down off the curb.
But it's like, oh yeah, his car was right outside her house.
That's true.
It was just, to me, it was just lame.
Okay. All right, that's fine.
It was just like, oh come on, you could have done something a little. He could have, somebody from East or West View could have said something to Billy like, hey, are you okay? And Billy could have gone, I am now, as he stumbled. Something. But there was no interaction with him whatsoever.
Frank, do you need some water?
Just him stumbling to his car and getting in and driving away. To me, that was lame. And from there on, it just got really, 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 really freaking weird to me.
All right. That's fine.
Looking around his room, finding the different things, the different reference points from all the other episodes, and the shoes, and finding Agatha in the witch costume, and for Wizard of Oz costume, and this, that, and the other thing. Which, by the way, if you go back and look as Agatha is going into the ground,
Yep.
you see her boots.
Yes.
Her boots do start to curl.
You noticed that, didn't you?
Yes, I did. Her boots do start to curl.
It was great.
That was funny. I kind of got a little giggle out of that. The last 10 minutes of the show
Yep.
knocked a half a point off of my score.
Okay, that's fine.
3 hats.
3 hats. All right. Not bad.
Three witches hats. So
All right.
it was at 3.5.
All right. All right.
And
Now the question is,
last 10 minutes knocked a half point
what
off.
does my buddy Megan rate this out of witch's hat?
Out of 5 witches hats. Want to say hi to Viking Brewer. Says, "What's up,
Brewer.
butts?" Not mine. You're the one that likes to stick it in the air, pal.
Yeah. What's up with that? But she didn't like how that episode ended either, which is fine.
Thank you.
You know,
Thank you.
for me, like I said, it was a 4.5 just because the Marvel geek in me noticed everything, and I'm like, all right. Well, she's giving it a 2.5.
Ooh.
2.5 hats.
To be honest with you, I was thinking 2.5. I was thinking 2.5, but I brought it up because the rest of the episode, other than the last 10 minutes,
Right.
was good.
Was good. Was good.
It was really good. A lot of cool things happened. You made a lot of connections, and you figured out, okay, what the hell is going on with Rio and Wanda,
Sure.
or not Wanda, Agatha, and you filled in a lot of holes. It was good.
Yeah.
But yeah, starting from the car, it went to crap.
All right. That's fine. That's fine. So now the question becomes, do you want to do number 9? Because we can... number 9, episode 9, and it's entirely up to you. We can knock it out of the park very easily. Because in reality, this is just a sum it up type of thing.
Well, what I like about episode 9 is it gives the history
Yep.
of Agatha. It gives you the timeline starting in 1750 when she meets Rio because she's having Nicholas, and Nicholas is supposed to die.
Yes.
And she makes a deal with Rio where Rio decides, all I can do is give you time.
Right.
So she gives her time.
Well,
And they go forward and giving the timeline and showing all the things that happened that caused her to be a coven of one.
Right. Which, again, if you think about it, all right, if you think about it, Nicholas was supposed to die in childbirth.
Yep.
When she saw Rio / Lady Death, she's like, no, please, no, take me instead. It's not your time.
And instantly recognized her.
Instant. It was like, damn, holy crap.
I mean, there was nothing outstanding about her other than the fact that she was in a cool green robe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There was nothing that me looking at her would make me think, other than knowing now that she is, that was death.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But she instantly recognized her. You know, and then, she goes through and the baby's crying. She's walking through the woods, crying his head off like what do, and they come into she runs into this other coven.
Aw, look at that.
And they let her in.
Yeah, bad move.
And she kills them. So
Kills
there's
them all.
5 or 6 dead people right there.
Sucks them all away.
And she continues to do this. They flash forward to where Nicholas is 6 years old.
Mm-hmm.
She does it again.
Getting older. But the other thing is, he's also starting to get to the point where he's singing a song.
They are creating the Witch's Road ballad as they go.
Yep.
Which
absolutely.
I found very interesting. I didn't catch it at first.
Now, the other thing is,
I was like, wait a minute.
the other thing that we need to mention is the original story of her son Nicholas from the comics, which has been mentioned, was that she traded Nicholas's soul for the Darkhold.
Yes.
That's what
misinformation.
Well, hold on a minute here. Comic book wise, yes, that happened. Okay. In the comics, that is how she got a hold of the Darkhold. That is how she got her powers. So she was telling that story correctly in this show. Until this episode, where even prior episodes, Lady Death said to her, he's not your son. He's not your son. Relax.
Multiple times.
Want to say hi to Christina, who just came in. Hello. She's my...
And just so you know, folks, we're going to have a commercial break coming up.
Yes, on Twitch, commercial break is coming up very shortly. Yes. Sorry. It's got to happen. Sorry. But for those on TikTok, no. There's no commercial break until tomorrow. That'll be a different story. Right. So Christine is my one of my favorite TikTokers who lip syncs to mirrors with mirrors, and it's awesome. Don't ever change either.
The 3-mirror thing?
The 3-mirror thing. She's fucking great at it. But anyway,
nice.
That's besides the point. We're talking about Agatha all along, so if you want to be a geek, chime in. And she even laughs like, "Aw, I gave you the hearts, buddy. Give you the hearts." So in the comics, yes, Agatha traded her son's soul for the Darkhold with Mephisto. Okay. Now, that was the story that she had been telling everybody in this series.
Mm-hmm.
And as we're getting closer now to the last episode, we find that is not true.
Yeah.
Now, the debt...
It was...
Because Mad Jelly keeps mentioning the debt that wasn't paid off to Rio. There was no debt. The debt was, as JT said, I can give you time.
Right.
She never said how long. She never said, you're going to have by the age of 14. She never said any of that. All I can do is buy you time.
All I can do is give you time. She did not give an amount of time.
Right.
There was no way that Agatha could have bought her way out of this or anything else. But Rio was nice enough to give her time with her son, which ends up being torture to her.
Yes.
Because she lost him.
Yes.
But what I thought was cool is right here is where we really start finding out about. We already know she's a bitch who kills witches. Okay.
Damn right she is.
At this point, she's killed at least 3 covens of witches that I can remember.
That we know of.
She's working on number 4. And Nicholas decides, no, I'm not going to let Mom kill these. And he cuts and runs on their normal little thing that they to get these witches to separate from everybody so they can kill them.
Which
he runs off.
Which he was singing the Ballad of the Witch's Road for that one.
Yes, in the tavern or the restaurant, whatever it happened to be.
It's a tavern, damn it!
And he runs out the door. He takes off. My mom's going to be looking. Takes off. She goes out after him, and he's worried that she's mad at him. They're on the river. They got the fire going and blah blah blah, and they go to sleep.
Yes.
While they're sleeping, Nicholas wakes. I don't know why that caught in my throat like that. Nicholas wakes up, sits up, and sees a lady hold.
Yes.
With a green flame.
Yes. Yes, you noticed that.
And she goes,
"Come on."
And Nick gets up Nicholas gets up
Well,
and walks over to her.
she also motioned for him to give Agatha a kiss.
Mm-hmm.
She kind of did a, hold it right there, buddy.
She's like, say bye to Mom.
Say goodbye to Mom. Give her a kiss.
And, Agatha wakes up and realizes that he's dead and buries him. And I think she's actually singing some new lines to the ballad.
Yes, for the doorway.
And she hears a voice behind her who kind of says the same thing that at the time Teen said, which is, can you take me with you?
Yeah.
She's like, what are you talking about? Well, you're singing the Ballad of the Witch's Road. Can you take me to the Witch's Road? You must know how to get there.
All the witches know it.
And then we find out where she really got her reputation from.
Yes.
Because we see at least 4 of her covens. No, I'm sorry, 3 of her covens.
Yep.
Where, because this one, the coven with this episode with Alice and Lillian and Jen and them.
Yep.
Is her the fourth iteration.
Yes.
She killed the other 3 iterations of her coven.
All the time.
On the ploy of the Witch's Road.
Yep.
Because every time she did it, nothing opened. So, you guys suck. You're terrible. She gets them to attack her. She steals their power.
Yep. Only this time...
All of a sudden, we flash to episode 1.
Yep.
No, episode 2. Episode 2.
Episode 2.
Episode 2.
Where they're
singing in the basement.
And, again, she was going to take their powers.
No, she flat out right in there. But all of a sudden...
the door opened.
What's that? What's that there?
And then we start seeing the flashbacks of the trials and everything else like that. And we get to the point where now we're back in Billy's room and we hear boo. And we see Agatha as a ghost.
They did an amazing job.
Right?
On this ghost.
Now, the cool thing about her being a ghost is, one, she technically did not lose her powers. The other thing is, she is now tied to Billy Maximoff as said ghost, which means he's technically keeping her alive.
Her memory, at least.
Technically. Now, as they're going through and they're talking, he asks her the question, well, how did you figure it out? She goes, the road never existed until you made it. So she knew.
He asks her.
Yeah.
He says, was it me? And it referenced back to the question that he asked at the end of episode 8. Yep. Was it me?
Was it me?
Was it you? What was my question?
Yes.
And did I create the Witch's Road?
Yep. Certainly did, boy.
I mean, that I was not expecting.
You got power.
But it would explain why it went in a circle.
Yes.
It explains a whole lot.
Everything's connected. Including, but not limited to, the end of the episode where Agatha reaches out for Billy's hand, was able to grab it, by the way.
Well, she knocked the charm out. And that was the one thing she wanted. She wanted her charm.
She wanted the charm back. That's all I wanted.
The charm back. And you have it. Do you have it? Yes, I have it. It's right here. Because he started to change. he went back to Wanda's house, down into the basement, drew a circle around the witch's road door, and put up candles and all this, and drew the pentagram and all that good shit. And he's doing an incantation to ban her.
Yep.
And I love what he said. You go be wherever, or you could go and be with Rio in the hell that she has created for you there.
Yes.
I was like, oh,
He was so
stab,
pissed.
stab, stab. That wouldn't even hurt a ghost.
Yeah.
You know?
He was
But
angry.
as he's doing the incantation, she's getting upset. She's swiping at the charm and everything. And she finally knocks it out of his hand, and that stops him cold.
Yep.
And I think this is where the tie is really found between the,
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
you know, when and especially when she went over and was able to actually pick up the charm and put it back on.
And the best part was after that, she said, I'm a quick learner. No, I'm a quick study.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a quick study,
Mm-hmm.
is what she said. Now, Megan said when Agatha was explaining everything about the road to him, it wasn't making much sense for her, which perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. She
Right.
figured it out by looking at everything around the room, which is how most of us figured it out anyway. We really
and
didn't need Agatha telling us that Billy was the one creating it, when if you look at everything in his room, that was the road.
Well, and he was feeling really, really bad because he's like, I killed everybody. I killed all the people in on the Witch's Road.
But she said, no, that's not true.
You know, I killed Alice. I killed Miss Beck. I killed Lillian. You know, and she's like, almost everybody.
You saved one.
And that's when they flash to right outside the Westview sign.
Oh, her
His hand punches up
Jennifer
through the
climbing
ground.
out. That was so great. She
The
just
zombie hand.
It was like,
And out comes Jen. She kind of looks around and everything, and then just flies away.
flies
Away. She does the witch's version of the Iron
Yes,
and flies
just,
away.
whee!
Off into the distance.
She just does whatever she needs to. But as she's flying away, Agatha's finishing the explanation that, yeah, you know, you saved one, you survived, you got what you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go find Tommy.
Yeah. Well, and there was a realization, like I said, they had the realization that they worked well together,
Yes.
that they would make a great team. And she would be there to guide him.
Yes. Which is not
Make his journey.
one of Agatha's biggest things. She doesn't do that.
Wasn't. I think it is now. And I think if we go into series 2 where they're going out to find Tommy and everything, I think we'll see that, because I do think she, as a character wise, I do think she made that change.
So I don't know if it's going to be a season 2 or not. It
Right.
might be a whole nother show,
Right.
which, I mean, either way, I'm good with. I really am.
Well,
I'm good with either way, because
this is an extension of WandaVision that would be an
Right.
extension of Agatha,
right.
you know, that kind of thing.
Megan also says if they didn't show the room, I think no one would have understood the ending.
I agree. I agree.
So as an outsider, yes, I'm going to back JT up and you up as well. That absolutely. From
And not all
a nerd-
insiders are as smart as you are. So.
From a nerd who knows the comics, I understood it completely because I know his powers. I know the possibility that he has. And we've gone over his powers once before. You weren't a part of the show at this point in time, but he's got telekinesis. He can read minds. He's got the powers of the Scarlet Witch. He can do all these things. He can create things. He's a very, very powerful mutant.
He just doesn't know it yet.
He just doesn't know it yet. He doesn't know his full potential. So he's getting there. So,
Kind of a Grogu kind of thing, you know?
yeah, kind of. So with
But
that,
no, it was really interesting the way that they ended it. You know, hey, we're a team now. Let's go find Tom.
yep.
And they
Yeah.
walk out
Let's go
to the
find
cell.
Tommy and let's have some fun, damn it. It's going to be great. So, what do you give this week's final episode?
How do I put this? This episode was the savior of episode 8.
Okay.
Okay. With this episode, I would go back and raise my score on episode 8 from a 3 to a 4.
Okay.
Knowing, because now it all, Megan's sitting there saying the same thing. Now it all makes sense.
See.
Everything that happened at the end of episode 8 that we're me and Megan are both sitting there going, what the fuck is this?
Remember,
Now it all makes sense.
everything's connected.
Yeah, but you know what? We don't see the connections like you do, and you know that.
I know.
So this episode saved episode 8.
Mm-hmm.
It also saved the series.
All right.
This episode gets a 4.5.
Nice.
I love the tie-ins with everything. Like I said, back into episode 8 and everything. All the ties to the outside things.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the fact that the person who didn't want anything to do with Teen and tried to kick his ass out of the house in episode 1, damn near shot him,
All right.
is damn near his, well, basically she's his ghostly mother now.
Okay. All right.
So, you know, kind of a full circle kind of thing there a little bit. So this episode, I'm giving a solid 4.
All right. All righty. Well, I'm not gonna lie. For me, I'm just right there with you with a solid 4. Mostly because I saw everything coming.
Well, yeah, for you.
But again, nerd, Marvel geek. I know this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I know this stuff. But all in all, great episode.
Right.
Because you've been wanting to know.
Yep.
Why is Agatha the way she is? What happened with Nicholas? I need to know that story. Now,
I wanted to know what happened with that she would actually go as far as to offer her own blood
yeah,
for a spell.
not just a spell.
What was the situation that she was in that
Dark
was...
spells.
Well, I realize it's not just a spell, but still, there is nothing that you could offer me that would get me to give up one of my kids.
Agreed.
Even the ones that don't talk to me.
Agreed. But at the same time, now
So,
we know she
you know.
didn't.
Right.
Now we
So,
know
you
she
know,
didn't.
knowing now that in this version,
Yep,
she didn't, it makes it good with me.
it does.
Nakaya says they left the end hanging. Damn well better make a season 2, or I will be a pissed off Lady Death.
Yeah.
I love how they made Agatha look as a spirit.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
Just
that was
looks
great.
really cool. I give this episode a 4.5 as well.
All right. Well, Mad Jelly, my buddy Megan, was very disappointed at the ending.
Really?
She said that they did a terrible job explaining everything. They did a better job by revealing everything through his room.
Mm-hmm.
Think of
I can
it
see where
when
it's
they were
coming from.
explaining things, it was like the Cliff Notes.
Yeah.
But we don't judge on ratings because she is giving that episode a 2.5. Yeah, absolutely.
Megan, don't feel bad.
He's
2
had
episodes ago, I gave it a 2.
He did. He did.
Oh.
Overall, what do you give the entire series?
Well, you would do yours first.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, entire series, I'm giving it a 4. The entire series is a 4.
Okay.
Mostly because, as you know, just from ratings, I only had like 1 or 2 that were like 4 to 4.5.
Right.
I didn't really have very low ones except for one.
Mhm.
But
Yep.
overall, I'm giving it a 4. I thought it was done very well. I thought it worked perfect for the Halloween season of the witch. Yay.
Yep.
But the other reason that I give it a 4 is because I saw a lot of the shit coming. I really did. Like,
Yeah.
JT even said he hated me at one point in time.
Like, you're ruining the next episode for me, dude.
I'm sorry. Sorry. But that's what I give it overall as a 4. Your turn.
Let's see. I will say this. I enjoyed the series. There was really only 1.5 episodes that I really was not impressed with. That was my 2 episode and the end of episode 8.
All right.
Like, overall, again, good timing with it for the Halloween season and everything. The story, I love the storyline. It was definitely something that was way outside of the normal MCU kind of thing, which I enjoy.
Yep.
Overall, I'm going to give it a 3.25.
All right. 3.25.
3.25 witches hats. Nakaya says the show overall was totally engaging and right up my alley. I loved it and totally enjoyed. The fight scenes between Lady Death and Agatha were awesome. The special effects were great, I thought. Left it as a nice cliffhanger, even if I didn't like it.
All right.
I give the overall series a 4.75. I think that's the highest rating any series has gotten to this point.
She is higher than both of us, which is crazy.
Well, and again, like she says, this was right down her alley.
I love it.
Which you admitted several times.
And Mad Jelly on TikTok, she says 3.5 for the entire thing.
We're all right in that range.
And as she put it, it's because they dumb it down in some of the areas and it was stupid. Like I said, we welcome any and all opinions. I'm the nerd / geek of the group. He's the outsider. He don't know shit, but he's getting a lot better. He's becoming a redneck geek.
I'm trying.
He's becoming a redneck geek. I will say it was much better than Moon Knight. It was better than Ms. Marvel.
Blew friggin' Moon Knight out of the water.
And don't get me wrong, I loved Oscar Isaac as Moon Knight. I loved him as he was great in that role.
Yeah, but the rest of it sucked.
Yeah, the series itself was like, whoa, hold it.
I mean, I literally thought about giving that series a 1.5 rating.
Yeah, it was up there. But before we end the episode for this week, because the good thing is next week we'll be able to chill out a little bit on Mondays.
Yay! We have next Monday off.
But I might still go live on TikTok and whatnot just to kind of keep things up and do like behind the scenes type stuff.
There you go.
But need to mention the next run of shows, which JT is still shocked about, because we'll be tackling Daredevil Born Again, which is a new series coming out, Ironheart, possibly Blade, unless they make it a movie, which it's supposed to be a movie.
Nakaya says next year looks massive.
It is massive because we also have Marvel Zombies. We have What If Season 3, Eyes of Wakanda. They are doing a Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, which is going to be animated. I don't know too many details about it because I only heard about it recently. But holy God. Well, I messaged JT after I saw the trailer, and I'm pretty sure you might have saw it too, JT, when you were watching Agatha.
Mm-hmm.
They just released a shit ton of like everything. Blade, Avengers Secret Wars, Captain America Brave New World, Thunderbolts, Daredevil Born Again, Ironheart, Agatha All Along, which was already on, Marvel Zombies, What If Season 3, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, Eyes of Wakanda, and another Shang-Chi movie, which is untitled at the moment. It's going to be crazy. Wonder Man. Wonder Man's another one that they're bringing. Wonder Man. I'm like, damn. And the current rumor is there's also going to be an untitled Vision series, which that should be interesting in and of itself, but that's not coming out until 2026. I think we also have Armor Wars 2, if I remember correctly. That hasn't been canned.
There's just a whole bunch of shit coming.
Yeah, it's like we've got Marvel Studios and Marvel Television, and it's all going here.
Right.
Here you go. Just putting it out there. So there's a lot of stuff coming down the line. Still a lot of rumors, but it's going to be interesting. Now, with that being said, it is time for us to go.
So long, farewell, Alviers, and goodbye.
For JT, he is the redneck. Look at him go. He's having a good time. I am the Geek Sully. Please tune in tomorrow night for the Sully Show at 8 p.m. Eastern. Hopefully we'll get everything working live on TikTok as well, which will be fantastic. I'm using the TikTok thing studio here, so I'm working on it. Work in progress. I'm glad it was a success for tonight because it was kind of like our test run. But we will be back.
Micaiah got the prep sheet done.
Yay! We will be back tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern time, right here on Accidental Punch TV, twitch.tv/Accidental Punch, as well as YouTube and Kick and D Live and all that. We like to go and spread our wings and get everybody involved as much as we can. So, with that being said, we will see you tomorrow. And for now, we're putting our shields away for Avenger Pretenders and saying goodnight. And oh, by the way, for the record, just putting it out there, Thanos was right.
I think somebody tipped him off.